Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. We thank you for joining us this afternoon. My name is Janet Sims. I'm the Dean of Allied Health and Human Services. At this time, I'm going to ask everyone to please make sure that your mic is muted. If you are on the telephone, you can do that by selecting *6. And then if you have a question, you just hit *6 again and you'll be able to talk to us. Today, we're going to talk about many of our careers that we have to offer here at Richmond Community College. We have our healthcare team here, and so each group is going to talk about their programs specifically. So we have medical assisting, dialysis, nursing, both ADN and LPN. We have medical coding and billing, phlebotomy, pharmacy tech, EMT, EMS, income maintenance caseworker, and substance abuse counselor. So at this time, we're going to start with Ms. Renee Craven and the medical assisting program.
Hi, this is Renee Craven. I coordinate the medical assisting program at RCC. Welcome. I'm glad to be talking to you today. At RCC, we have two different programs for medical assisting. We have a 2-year degree program, which is our associate in medical assisting, and we also have a certificate program, which takes 2 semesters. You can also complete the degree in 3 years for those students who work. We have lots of students who work and they choose to complete it in a 3-year. So we have a 3-year track as well. So medical assistants are typically found working in physicians' offices, ambulatory care centers. We have some working in hospitals. If they work in hospitals, it's typically like in registration positions, those type things. And so we find them working in many places. They are multi-skilled professionals. They can start at the front office and they answer the phones. They do insurance and billing. They do triaging over the telephone to do make appointments for patients, and then we see them running the back office as well, doing clinical skills. They do exam room procedures, EKGs, lab draws, blood draws. They do injections, and we do many procedures in the back, even wound care. And then we bring the patients back around to the front. So typically offices will use the medical assistant to run both the front and the back office, and that's what makes them so valuable. They have great job placement in our area. The communities of interest are always looking for qualified medical assistants. When you complete the 2-year program, you are able to sit for a certification exam and become a CMA, which is a certified medical assistant. Any questions that I can answer for you about the career or our program?
All right, if there's no questions, we're going to move on to our dialysis program, and that will be Ms. Robin Davis.
Hi, I'm Robin Davis. I'm the program coordinator for the dialysis technology program at Richmond Community College. Thank everyone for being here today. The dialysis program is a 1-year diploma program. So in 3 semesters, you have your diploma. You can get a job. Usually around here, we do DaVita, Fresenius. The VA also hires dialysis techs. And some large hospitals do dialysis techs in the acute care setting. But mostly it's in the DaVita and Fresenius clinics here. You're responsible for all aspects of patient care. And after a year, you'll get a job. You work for about 3 months, and then you can sit for the certification exam. And it's a great job. We do a lot of clinics in the area. We will start going into Fresenius next year. We do all DaVita clinics in the area, and we have right now 8 clinics that we go into, and hope to grow that over the next couple of years. It's a quick program. It's really intense. There are a lot of clinical hours. There are early morning hours, but it's a wonderful career, and it'll get you started in a year. So my next person is going to be Emily Acock, and she is the program coordinator for the associate degree nursing program.
All right, we'll have to see if we can find Miss Emily. I'm not quite sure what happened. We do have 2 tracks in nursing. We have the ADN program and we have the LPN program. So the ADN program is a 2-year program. You work very intensely, but it qualifies you to take the test to be on the registry, and that gives you your RN. Miss Emily, are you now with us?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. I was just telling these folks that you are over the area that helps students to do a 2-year program, and they sit for an exam that gives them the RN behind their name.
Absolutely. So thanks, Janet and Robin. I'm sorry about the technical issue there, and I think I was muted. I could hear you all, but we're excited about any interest that we have in this program. One of the things that we know are that nurses are in high demand, and given the recent pandemic, I think we're going to see that this will continue to grow, and there will be even more interest in this program. It is 5 semesters, and students are typically hired immediately upon graduation. In fact, over the last 3 years, there have been 4,337 companies within a 100-mile radius of Hamlet that have posted over 200,000 jobs. So you have students that will graduate and potentially will be making anywhere between $50,000 to $60,000 a year. So your time invested, it is worth the investment. So certainly, you do reap the benefit of this program. We are looking for candidates who love people and want to work with people and take care of them. It is a demanding program, and certainly we are available to help with any of those needs or concerns that you have. As Ms. Sims indicated, at the end of the 5 semesters, once you graduate, you are required to sit for a national licensure exam to obtain a license to practice. And so certainly nurses have a variety of settings to work in with hours that can be, flexible, but it does also include in a hospital setting that you work weekends and holidays, days, nights. So those are some of the things to anticipate if you graduate from the program and work in one of our local hospitals. We are excited for the opportunity to answer any questions. There is an admissions process, and all of that information can be found on our website. There is a link to that gives you all of those specifics, but our enrollment, we admit students every fall, so one time a year in the fall, and those applications would be due January 31st. Now, entertain any questions if there are any.
Could you tell me about the continuing education medical assisting class?
I believe that's going to be a question for Ms. Craven. Are you still with us, Ms. Craven?
Yes, ma'am, I am, but I'm not familiar with the continuing education medical assisting. That would be, is there anyone on the call from continuing education? She's asking about the continuing education part.
So that would be Holly. Holly, are you
yes.
on the call? All right. If you will write down my number, it is 910-410-1889, and give me a call. I will find that information out for you.
Janet, we typically offer that medical office assistant class through the WED program one time a year, and I believe it starts in either late fall or early January, so we'll be putting out information on that. We do have the medical coding and billing classes fall or this summer, and we'll be talking about that in a minute.
Okay, to the caller that had the question, if you'll contact me, I will be glad to talk to you about this, and we'll make sure you get the information that you need. My number is 410-1889.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I am currently a paramedic, and I was wondering about the nursing program. I used to have my nursing assistant as well. Would I have to go back to school and get the nursing assistant over again before I can apply to the nursing program?
So yes, at this time you are still required to do the CNA.
All right. With that being said, I'd like to introduce Miss Heather Cox. She is our program coordinator over our licensed practical nursing program.
Hi, thank you, Janet. Yes, I'm the program coordinator for practical nursing. I echo a lot of the things that Emily Aycock said. Our admission process is much like the process for the ADN. We accept students once a year in the fall, and those applications for the upcoming fall are due in January. We typically take somewhere around 20 students. This program is 3 semesters long, so you would start in August and graduate in July. And we are located in Laurinburg, so all of the courses take place during the day, during the week at the Honeycutt Center. One of the main questions that people typically ask is, what is the difference between a registered nurse and a licensed practical nurse? For a licensed practical nurse, you do take a board test to get your license. The difference really lies within the things that you can do as far as your practice is concerned, and some of that has to do with the state that you'll be practicing in. But you don't find licensed practical nurses typically in your critical care areas. So places like an ER, an ICU, a labor and delivery area, places where patients' conditions can quickly change are not usually places that practical nurses are typically working in. They are found in the hospital, though. There's been a big push to put LPNs back in acute care, and that's probably been within the last 5 years here locally in North Carolina. But you also find them in long-term care and in your clinics, doctor's offices, urgent care, those types of areas. And I'll be happy to answer any other questions.
Heather, related to the question from the previous participant, is the CNA required for the practical nursing program?
It is not. We have a lot of lab time built in that first semester, so we have the opportunity to teach skills. Now, many of our students do come to us with the nursing assistant. I would say over 90% of them typically are nursing assistants, but that is not a requirement.
All right. So let's move forward, since there's been some questions about the nursing assistant, and our program coordinator for our Workforce Economic Development CNA program is Miss Leah Grooms. Miss Grooms, are you there?
Yes, Janet, thank you. Can everybody hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for coming. My name is Miss Leah Grooms. I am the Allied Health Programs Coordinator for the Workforce and Economic Development Program. And we offer the CNA 1 as well as the CNA 2 that'll be starting this fall. But the CNA 1 program, we offer it at the Honeycutt Center in Laurinburg. We do offer, or through Workforce and Economic Development, we offer some here on main campus as well, and we'll have one starting June the 1st, which is our fast track class. And it's a 16-week program, but the fast track class will complete in 8 weeks. It typically takes one semester, about 16 weeks, to complete the CNA 1 program. And we offer that in day classes, hybrid classes, which meet on the weekend, and evening classes. The CNA 2 class, which will be starting in the fall, will be offered in the day at the Honeycutt Center. Through the CNA program, the students learn how to they perform nursing care, activities of daily living, and we work with all age groups, but primarily the elderly. A lot of the CNAs work in hospitals as well as skilled facilities. Are there any questions that some of you may have about the CNA program through Workforce and Economic Development? If there are no questions, I would like to ask Sheila Adams to speak for a few minutes. She offers CNA as well, but hers is on the curriculum side. Sheila, are you here?
I am. Thank you, Leah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I'm Sheila Adams, Program Coordinator with the Nurse Aid 1 and 2 credit classes on the curriculum side, and also with the pre-nursing diploma. In our pre-nursing program, it can be completed in 3 semesters. That includes a semester of your Nurse Assistant 1, of which at the end, if you've met all program requirements, you're eligible to sit for your state written and skills exam. The next semester, you would be taking your Nurse Assistant 2, and that certification is through the North Carolina Board of Nursing. And in the diploma program, it allows you to take all of those courses that you would need in your associate degree program, such as your English 111, your Psych 150, your Medical Terminology 1 and 2. Also, I echo the things that Leah had mentioned about the work opportunities in an array of settings, doctor's offices, hospitals, acute care facilities, home health care. And I will be glad to entertain any questions that you may have. Any questions from anyone? Okay, moving forward, I would like to introduce Arlinda Billingsley with Healthcare Management Programs.
Hey, my name is Arlinda Billingsley, and I am the Program Coordinator for Healthcare Management Technology. Health Management Technology is a 2-year degree, and the emphasis are placed on the front end of the office. That's planning, organizing, directing. You may do medical coding and billing. It may be scheduling, patient registration, ordering supplies, problem solving, effective communication. Managers do multitask. What we have found that people are so interested in becoming certified at medical coding and billing. So what I tell students, if you get a 2-year degree in healthcare management, there are opportunities with that degree to become certified. You can sit for the Professional Association of Healthcare Office Managers, Financial Association for Management, Patient Account Manager, and Manager of Patient Accounts. If you do forego doing like through WED to get a certification in medical coding and billing, which makes you more valuable, they as well sit for a certification. If anyone has any questions about this program, I'll be glad to answer them. We do offer this online. All your classes are online. I do have a class that we do fall and spring. It's the introduction that we do as a hybrid for someone that wants to become familiar with online classes. Does anyone have any questions about our curriculum for HMT?
I already have an associate's degree, so with that, I guess, could I still do this program or not?
You have a degree in what, did you say? I'm sorry.
I have an associate's degree in accounting.
Accounting. You could do the WED and get a certification in medical coding and billing, but if you would come and do the program for healthcare management and have a degree in that, a lot of that curriculum requires accounting. So you would have most of the classes. You would only need the HMT classes.
Okay.
Did I answer your question on that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. If you'd like to, you could email me as well. Faith. Is this Faith?
No, it's Cassandra.
Okay, Cassandra. You're more than welcome to call or email me. My number is 410-1899.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, if there's no more questions, we're going to move on to Rob McDuffie and our EMT paramedic program.
Being a part of this, I'm the program coordinator. My name is Rob McDuffie, program coordinator for the new EMS, Emergency Medical Science program. And this is a 2-year program where you attain a degree, and we teach you not only about treating emergencies, but we teach you the tactical aspects of treating emergencies in the pre-hospital environment. You would work for any number of EMS systems, flight medic, any of the local EMS systems. As I said, this is a 2-year program. It's pretty rigorous. We've got a lot to teach you in 2 years to get you ready to take on the challenges of pre-hospital medicine. If you have any specific questions, I'll be glad to entertain them. I wanted to keep this short, so I won't go any further than that unless you have questions. Well, if there are no questions, then I will introduce Miss Amanda Falk and take my seat here and listen to the rest of this.
Good afternoon. I hope everybody's doing well and staying safe. My name is Amanda Falk, and I am the program coordinator for the Human Services Technology program at RCC. And today I'm going to talk to you about the substance abuse degree that we currently have. It's a 2-year program, and upon graduation, it qualifies you to sit for the North Carolina State Substance Abuse Board to become a CSAC, which is a certified substance abuse counselor in the state of North Carolina. We work in various settings. We work in community agencies, hospitals, group homes, prisons. So, as you know, especially with the pandemic, substance abuse, unfortunately, is on the rise. And so we are in desperate need of helpers. So if you love to help people and you really want to make a difference in a person's life, then this may be the career for you. So if you have any questions, I can answer those now. Okay, if there aren't any questions, I'm going to go ahead and turn over to Miss Crystal Shaw.
Hello, everyone. My name is Crystal Shaw. I'm briefly going to talk about tuition and fees for our curriculum programs. If you are in-state, and by that we mean a North Carolina resident and have lived here for 12 consecutive months, you are potentially eligible for $76 per credit hour tuition. Now, speaking about the tuition applies to our college courses, not our WED courses. There are 2 different departments with Richmond Community College. So our WED courses do not have in-state or out-of-state costs. They are just set fees. And so you'll see different prices for those different courses. But for our college courses, our in-state tuition for someone that's lived in North Carolina for 12 consecutive months is $76 a credit hour. Now, we have some classes that are 3 credit hours, some classes are 4 credit hours, and some are even more than that. So based on the credit hours of the course, you would take that amount and times it times 76. And then we do have some fees that are tacked onto that, but they're under $100. They're usually around $60 to $35 additional. Now, what if you haven't lived in North Carolina for 12 consecutive months? Then you'll be charged out-of-state tuition. Now, our out-of-state tuition is a big cost difference, but it is $268 a credit hour. And then books and supplies, we try to keep those costs down. On average, they're around $600. And we have a comparison here on the PowerPoint that we're using, where even if we're comparing to Northeastern Tech, our out-of-state tuition is comparable to their in-state tuition. So if anybody ever has any questions about in-state or out-of-state tuition, or maybe even the cost for the WED courses, we can definitely connect you with somebody that will know more about those costs. Does anybody have any questions about tuition and fees?
Crystal, while we're on the conversation of tuition and fees, can you please tell everyone what they need to do to apply? How do they apply? Where do they go to start the application process?
For general admissions, you would just simply go to our website, richmondcc.edu, go to admissions tab, and then click on how to apply. And when you do that, you'll see a checklist of all the things that we recommend you do to get started with Richmond Community College. So one of the first things you'll see there is that you need to do a residency application. You'll need to do an admissions application. You probably want to apply for financial aid to see if you can get any money for that. There's also scholarships. So one thing a lot of people don't realize is that if they think, well, I'm not going to be eligible for the Pell Grant with financial aid, we have a working scholarship available for people that aren't eligible for it, and maybe they're working. And so there's a little bit of help out there for most people. So you want to fill out your FAFSA application and you want to fill out your scholarship application just to see if you're eligible for any of that assistance.
Thank you, Crystal. Are there any questions about admission? All right. If not, we're going to move on to, we offer short-term training courses, and Ms. Holly Russell is going to discuss some of those with you.
So I'm Holly Russell. I am Director of Programming and Pre-Employment Services. As Janet mentioned, we offer short-term programs, hopefully to get you working quicker. We know people sometimes don't have 2 years to put into a degree to feed their families. So we offer programs like pharmacy tech, phlebotomy. As Leah mentioned earlier, we have the WED program, CNA on our side. We also offer the medical coding and billing. I apologize for not being heard earlier when you guys were asking about that. But a lot of our classes are online. They're hybrid. And as Crystal mentioned, we do have set fees, but we also have funds available for need-based. So we can help you out with that or the cost of the books as well. Does anybody have any questions about any of our short-term programs, such as pharmacy tech or medical coding and billing?
How much is the textbook for the medical coding and billing specialist class?
I'm sorry, you said how much was the textbook?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure. I can get that information from the bookstore for you. If you would like to, I can get your name and number and I can give you a call back with that or shoot you an email.
Okay. I'll put it in the chat for you.
Okay.
All right.
Also, it's noteworthy that for our short-term training programs, we do not charge out-of-state tuition. That is a flat fee. So that's important if you are coming in from South Carolina. All right. So are there any questions that we've left unanswered about any of our healthcare programs?
Janet, if I might, there's been some activity on the chat box, and I want to make sure that everyone hears those questions and what the answers were.
Okay.
The first question was how do they register for any of our classes, and I've directed them to the main line, which is 910-410-1700, to be directed to someone to register for curriculum or for our continuing education classes. The other question coming in is if we can be registered for, or if someone can be registered for 2 continuing education classes at one time, and the answer is yes. Students can register for whichever classes they prefer, just based on where their time constraints are with their family. The other questions coming in was about dialysis class, and if they have a job that travels, they're asked about time constraints with that program. I've directed them to contact Robin Davis, who is the program coordinator for dialysis. Her direct line is 910-410-1906 for specifics about the clinical hours and when those are required. A second question was about the nursing application. I have put the direct link to the nursing application in the chat box. And then we also had some questions about when the next medical office administration class starts. We found that typically starts in February, and the medical coding and billing class starts July 13th of this year, and that's an online program. We also had a question about the CNA class that's getting ready to start, and the CNA class starts June 1st with a registration date coming up. I think it's the 18th or 19th. Leah will be able to help me out with that. And Leah's contact information is 410-1833. We were also asked for our Linda Billingsley's contact information. I've put that in the chat box with also a link of how to apply. So there's been a lot of activity in the chat box over there. So if you're someone who is not on a call but on the computer, if you want to bounce over to the chat box, which looks like a bubble, there you can see all of the activity in the chat box.
Thank you, Sherry. We want to thank everyone who came out today. And of course, at any time, if you have questions, please feel free to contact me. If I don't have the answer, I'll make sure I get you to the right person. Again, my name is Janet Sims, S-I-M-S, and my number is 410-1889, and I'll be glad to get back with you and get the answers that you want. Next week in our chat, we're going to discuss power careers, and we're hoping that you all will join us on May the 14th from 1 to 2. It will be listed on our Facebook events page, so please keep joining us and find out what all we have to offer at RCC.
Okay, it looks like some additional questions have come in from on the chat box. One is there a waiting list for nursing, and what is the GPA needed to apply? Crystal Shaw, would you mind helping us out with that?
Hey, just as you were starting to do that, I had my stuff on mute and I was typing an answer to that chat. But yes, sure. The GPA requirement is a calculated GPA for nursing. It has to be a 2.5. And what was the other part of that question?
Is there a waiting list?
There is not a waiting list. A lot of times I've talked to people over the years and they've mentioned, a waiting list, and I think that's something that people don't really do anymore. We use a point system. So earlier in the chat, Sherry Dunn Ramsey had posted a link to our nursing page on our website. You could also go to richmondcc.edu and go to our search on the top right there and type in nursing. You can pull it up that way too. But there we have our nursing application set for you to do. We'll have those updated on June 1st, 2020. And we'll accept those applications all the way to January 31st, 2021 for the fall 2021. There's also a page on that website for the point sheet that we use. And basically, if the students meet all the minimum requirements, like the 2.5 GPA that we calculate, they got to take a TEAS test and score at least a 58 overall and a 55 on the math if they've never been in another nursing program before. And they have to have their CNA. Now, and then then there's a couple other things in that checklist that's connected with that nursing application on that page. But those are the three big things. Then we will, take that applicant pool and look at them. We'll calculate points on them. So we've got a copy of that point sheet there on that page that a student can look at and see how we, give out those points for students. It's mostly based on your college classes, the classes listed on that point sheet. And you have to make A's and B's in those to get through. So it's a competitive process. We all, the last 3 years, we've had more students that were eligible than we could take. We usually take about 80 in the ADM program, and we've had well over 100 the last 3 years trying to get in. So it is competitive. So it's really important that if you do pursue nursing, that you try to make high scores on your TEAS and you try to make A's and B's in all your classes. I hope that answered the question.
Thank you, Crystal. We had another question that came in on the chat box about the licensed practical nursing program. The question is, they are a registered medical assistant but would like to be a practical nurse, and if there was any special, requirements for that, or is there a different track? Could someone answer that for this person?
Yes, I didn't know if Crystal wanted to take that. The LPN curriculum is going to be separate, basically, from the medical assisting. So while that would probably help you with the understanding of the information, as far as like the admission process or like a transition, you would start at the beginning with the rest of the students. Is that?
You would also, you would get points for having the medical assistant, especially if you are a actual CMA. So it doesn't hurt that you've already got those and that you're bringing that to the admissions process. So I wouldn't say, some of your classes will even count, possibly on the point sheet as well. A lot of times when we're talking about competitiveness going into an LPN program or even the RN program, you might just need to talk to a counselor and let them fill out a point sheet for you so that you can kind of see where you stand and what you still need to do.
Are there any other questions that we can help anybody?
How long is the CNA class for? That starts June 1st.
It will run from June 1st to about August the 6th.
The one that's going to start June the 1st is the fast track class.
Which means, explain that, Ms. Leah.
I'm sorry. It's the entire program compressed into 8 weeks, so it's at an accelerated rate. So it'll take us about 8 weeks to finish the class. It will end late July. I don't know the exact date, but I'm thinking it's like July 22nd for the fast track. The evening class will start June the 22nd and will end in late October. Did that answer your question?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And the CNA too, when does that start?
Okay, I have not completed that schedule, but it will be starting in mid-August, and it will probably run about 16 weeks as well. So from August to late November, early December-ish.
Excuse me, do they have a HR class going? Or do y'all offer that, HR services?
Amanda?
Are you talking about human resources? I think she's talking about human resources and not human services, Miss Sims.
Okay.
Human
All right.
That wouldn't
resources.
be my specialty.
Yes,
So Janet,
human
can I,
resources.
Yeah, I don't.
Janet, this is Holly. Can I answer some of that?
Yes, please.
Okay. We don't offer like human resources classes to get you like SHRM certified, if that's what you're asking. But what we do offer are some leadership skills classes that a lot of the HR departments for local industry require their supervisors and folks in their departments to take. We also offer HR specific classes for human resource managers in those industries. Anybody is free to take those. You can take those classes. You don't have to be in HR to do it. But a lot of the times you will be in class with folks who are directly in that field or who are HR managers. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay.
We had another question come in on the chat box about the TEAS test, and they would like to know if, due to the current conditions, if the school will be allowing the TEAS test to be taken at home or if it will have to be taken on campus.
I can answer that. The ATI company who offers the TEAS, they will not allow somebody to do that unproctored. But we will be offering that on campus as far as we know. I usually don't offer it towards for the first time in an application period until like towards the end of June. I'm sorry, got my words all mixed up. But so hopefully all this will be kind of waved through, and a lot of the restrictions for people being on campus will not be an issue by that time. So I'm looking for the first date to be scheduled towards the end of June, probably have another one in July. If social distancing is still going to be an issue, I may still offer it, but just have to space people out more. So then I wouldn't be able to schedule as many people for the test session.
Janet, I believe we've exhausted our questions at this time.
All right. We thank everyone who joined us. Those who registered will get a copy of our chat, and we hope to see you in the near future. If you have questions after we hang up, don't hesitate to give us a call. You can call the main number at 410-1700, or you can call me specifically, 410-1889. Thank you.
Oh, Janet, I am so sorry. We had somebody pop in the chat box that asked if all of our classes are online. I'm not sure which program that's referencing. We have several online programs, like our healthcare management program that was discussed today is completely online. Several of our other programs have a lot of the particular classes online. We are offering summer classes. All of our online programs will start May 18th, and then any in-person classes will start June 15th. For our continuing education classes, those would be dependent upon the particular class. Leah, your CNA classes that are starting June 1st, are those going to be online or in person?
Ma'am, they're face to face. They're in person.
Okay. The other question coming in is, do we need to brush up on courses for anything to begin a medical program?
Yes, sorry, I had a little cough in my throat. If you are planning to come into the nursing programs, there is a 5-year period that we will accept your biology, but many of your courses will be fine. We'll take them no matter how old they are. That is actually listed on our point sheet.
I think this person may be asking about the courses that are prerequisites for programs like the English 002 and Math 003.
Okay, would you want to take that question?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think, Amber, if you can respond to what we're saying right now, is that what you mean? Okay, thank you. Yeah, so your brush up courses, you can do your English online or you have been able to, but we're actually moving those courses into the WED program now. And I'm not sure if those will continue to be offered online or if they'll only be in class starting in the fall. But we do have the English brush up classes this summer online, but the math is in class. So if you want to try to do it the way we've been currently doing it, you may want to go ahead and try to talk with me or another counselor about trying to get that done this summer, so that whatever program like medical assisting or whatever medical program you're thinking about, that you'll have that ready, so maybe you can start that in the fall. All right, I think is that all the questions that we have?
All right, we thank you for your time. We look forward to seeing you on our campus, or at least talking to you when you call in to us individually. Like I said, if you have any questions at all after we hang up, feel free to give us a call and we'll get the information that you desire. Thank you, everyone.